Jeselnik. What's up, my man? It's Big J in Billings. How are you this morning?
Hey, Big J. Good, man. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I like asking you how you're doing, even though the world is your oyster at this point. Everything seems to be going very well.
It's good. It's good. I've been very busy. I can't even enjoy it yet.
Yeah, I know exactly. You're going to look back in a month or two and go, man, things have been going so very, very well.
Exactly.
First of all, let's talk about the Jeselnik Offensive. I mean, your name's in the title. This has got to be a project you're very excited about. In Billings here, it's on at 11:30 tonight on Comedy Central following the new episode of Drunk History. For people, I don't know what their deal is, but for people, if they haven't checked out the Jeselnik Offensive, give them kind of a rundown of what the show's all about.
It's basically kind of a look back on the week's news. I come out, I do a monologue, and then I have a kind of a piece I show the people tonight. We do a thing called Sacred Cow, where we kind of attack things and we make fun of things that people don't like for you to make fun of. Tonight we're doing drunk driving, where I talk to a couple different people about drunk driving. It's hilarious. One of the best bits I think we've done on the show tonight. I have a panel.
I like that you say drunk driving, and I just already laugh at it, thinking it's funny. I think that shows that I'm a little twisted.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you're laughing at the idea of making fun of drunk driving, then you should definitely be watching the show. It's hilarious, and then we have a panel at the end where a couple of comedian friends come on and we kind of go through the week's news and make fun of stuff. This week we've got Doug Benson and Rob Hubel.
Those guys are both, I've talked to both of those guys, hilarious comedians. That's one of the cool things, too, is with your show, it's not just you and then some, like, up-and-coming kind of random comedians. It's like you're bringing in guys like Doug and Rob who are established and, you know, already hilarious. Exactly,
and they're guys who are friends with me and also, more importantly, friends with each other. So it just makes for a much more fun, vibe when we're up there. I'm not talking to some dumb actor about their latest movie. I get to talk to comedian friends and mess around.
Yeah, exactly. That's got to be awesome. How'd the show come about? Was this something, did Comedy Central kind of pitch you an idea and let you run with it, or did you come up with the idea and pitch it to Comedy Central?
I came up with the idea and came to Comedy Central. I wrote for Jimmy Fallon, the Jimmy Fallon show, for the first year, and I had a lot of fun on that, but there were a lot of ideas that he would never do. And they would say to me, they'd be like, hey, this idea isn't good for the Jimmy show, but it would be good for the Anthony show. And after a year, I said, well, the Anthony show sounds really funny. So I went to Comedy Central and said, let me kind of take my shot at this and do my own version of a late night show. And they jumped on board.
That's awesome. Jimmy just got married. Did he? Wait, you said, or did you work for Kimmel or Fallon? I was getting confused.
Fallon. Kimmel just got married. Jimmy Fallon just had a baby.
Yeah. I forget. I know they both just had milestones. I always forget who's who. Are you still friends with Fallon? You still keep in touch?
A little bit. I mean, he's so busy, and I'm pretty busy. We don't talk often, but every once in a while we'll drop each other an email or something. He's a great guy.
That's what he seems like.
I'm very happy for his success.
Seems like a cool dude.
Everything is sincere with him.
What's awesome is with you, I think a lot, you see Fallon and everybody knows he's a good dude. A lot of people see you, and I'm guessing assume that you're kind of a jerk just because that's how you come across a lot of times in your stand-up and on the roasts. And, I mean, you're very hard-edged, but then, I mean, talking to you this morning, you sound like a really nice guy. Do you get that a lot where people kind of assume you're going to be a huge jerk and then are surprised when you're just a nice, normal dude when you're not doing comedy?
Oh, absolutely, but that's one of the fun parts for me. I figured out that a lot of comedians who seem like the nice, normal guys are the worst people off stage. So I found that if I act like a jerk on stage, which I think is funny to do, I think it's funny to be a jerk, then you get kind of a buffer off stage. But no, I'm a nice, normal guy. I just think it's very funny to be a complete and total jerk. I'm right.
Has that always been your style? I mean, the kind of style we've seen recently in some of the roast appearances, just that brutal, really, really hard-hitting, cutting style of comedy. Has that always been your style, or is that something that, you've just kind of, after years of doing it, you've honed in on that and realized that's where that's where you hit it out of the park?
I think I've always thought it was funny. It just took me years to kind of figure it out in myself. How to be able to do it myself. It's tough to pull off. It's tough to be a little bit charming enough people like you, but also a jerk. But when you can do it, it's amazing. So it's taken me a long time to kind of finesse. People will try to do this and they miss, and it's terrible. but so somehow I've gotten away with it.
Yeah, somehow you've made it work. Well, congratulations, because it works well for you, obviously. You did Donald Trump, Charlie Sheen, Roseanne, the recent roasts here. James Franco, the latest guy being announced to be roasted. Are you signed on for that? Are you planning on signing on for that? Do you know anything about that?
I know very little. I mean, they keep things under such wraps. I know they've got Franco. I don't think they've booked anyone else for it yet. So they're working on that. Like I'm like a ringer. Like people like me, Amy Schumer, Jeff Ross. We're all like the ringers who they bring in at the end to fill it out. So they're going after movie stars right now. They want the big time people, and then it trickles down to me. So I assume I'm going to be a part of it. I would be surprised if I wasn't, but it'll be a while before that's official.
Yeah, you gotta just wait for that to happen. Well, that's kind of cool. Are the roasts something you really enjoy doing? Is it more of a struggle? We've talked to a few comedians that have done those roasts, and they talk about sitting in hotel rooms with a bunch of other comedians trying to write all the material and get it all done. And is it something that you enjoy, being put under that sort of a schedule, or is it something that is kind of a hassle, but you just got to do it because everybody's going to see it and talk about it?
It's a little of both, at this point. I mean, doing the Donald Trump one was like the greatest moment of my life, and since then I feel like I've kind of been repeating myself a little bit. I'm just doing the kind of the same thing, and different jokes and different people, but it's not the most creatively fulfilling thing to do anymore, but I still enjoy doing it. I mean, I still remember being a little kid watching those roasts and just loving it. Now to be a part of it is an honor.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it, but it gets tougher to prepare for every year, for sure.
I can imagine. Do you get upset with Comedy Central? I've heard other people say that there's certain times they have really, really, really good jokes, and things they're really proud of that Comedy Central ends up editing out. Do you ever get upset about that, where you watch the final product and get pissed that some of your best stuff got edited out because they thought it was too edgy or too offensive?
No, because they're always editing things for time, and a lot of times the editor does not know the difference between two funny jokes. He just one gets a laugh, the other one gets a laugh. He picks one himself. So I'm like, listen, one joke was really smart, one was kind of dumb, and you picked the dumb one to leave in there. You can't get mad about that. It's all just, they've got a TV show to produce, so you go up and you do your best, and you hope that they leave things in. And if I ever feel really passionate about something, I can get them to leave it in, and that's certainly happened before.
That's cool. Kylie on our app wants to let you know, she just texted in that you're way hot. She loves the Jeselnik Offensive and that you're so hot, and she wants us to tell you that. So in case you were wondering.
I never hear that enough.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in case you were wondering this morning, like, man, am I still super hot? According to Kylie, yes, you are. Anthony, aside from the Jeselnik Offensive and, of course, your album Caligula, which came out in January, people can check that out if they just want to hear a solid set. What else is going on for you? Anything big in life, or are you just super busy with the Jeselnik Offensive?
Super busy with the Jeselnik Offensive. This will end at the end of the summer. I'll have the roast and everything probably at the end of the summer. I get about a week off, and then I go on tour at the end of the year. So this 2013 has been a great year for me, but I have not been able to stop and take a breath. I'll tell you how tired I am.
Too busy. Yeah. What kind of a tour is this? Are you doing theaters? Are you doing clubs? What level are you at when you hit the road?
I'm at theaters now, which is very nice. You come in, you do one show, and you leave, and it's 1,000 people there who are ready to see you, who can't wait to hear dark, offensive jokes. It's so much more fun.
That's awesome.
Than being in a club all weekend.
You should add us to the list sometime. Come to Billings here. I mean, I'm trying to think of who just did our theater. Oh yeah, we had Tracy Morgan recently, Lisa Lampanelli. They both came through and did the theater, and big fans. Tosh had to add a few extra shows because he sold out like 2 instantly. So we got a good comedy scene here in Billings, surprisingly. So,
I would love to make it out there. Maybe early next year I'll be able to come on out.
That would be awesome. The girl that thinks you're super hot, I'm sure, would be excited, and I, as a comedy fan, would definitely be excited as well. So we'll look forward to that.
One of you will get backstage passes, and the other one can buy tickets like everybody else.
I love it. We'll look forward to that, but first, we'll definitely check out the Jeselnik Offensive. Everybody should watch it. It's on Comedy Central. You can see it tonight at 11:30 here in Billings, right after the new episode of Drunk History. It's the Jeselnik Offensive, starring the man, Mr. Anthony Jeselnik. Anthony, thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning, and best of luck with everything in the career, and I hope things just keep getting better and better for you, because you deserve it, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy. You too.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. Have a great morning.
Thanks, man. Take care.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.